That one sentence from the UN was not random. It was a diplomatic signal aimed less at headlines and more at the people sitting around negotiating tables. The statement was about Ukraine, but the audience was global. Presidents, foreign ministers, ambassadors, and any government trying to read where the boundaries of acceptable diplomacy still are. The key phrase was familiar but powerful. Any peace must respect Ukraine's sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity, in line with the UN Charter, international law, and relevant UN resolutions. On the surface, that sounds like standard diplomatic language. In reality, every word is doing work. Sovereignty tells world leaders that Ukraine is not just a battlefield, it is a state with legal authority over its own future. Independence signals that Ukraine cannot be treated as an object in a bargain between larger powers. The message is that Kyiv must not be reduced to a topic discussed over its head. Territorial integrity is the sharpest phrase. It points to internationally recognized borders, and it warns that peace built on forced territorial change would weaken the rule that protects every state, not only Ukraine. Then comes the authority transfer. The UN is not saying trust one country's version of events. It is anchoring the message in the UN Charter, international law, and General Assembly resolutions. That moves the argument away from alliance politics and into the shared legal framework that all member states have formally accepted. For Ukraine's supporters, the signal is reassurance. Diplomacy can continue, but not at the cost of the core principles they have defended. For Russia, the signal is constraint. Any settlement that ignores sovereignty and borders will face a legitimacy problem inside the international system. For undecided or non-aligned countries, the signal is broader. This is not only about Europe. If borders can be changed by force in one region, the precedent travels. And for major powers pushing negotiations, the message is subtle but firm. A ceasefire may stop the fighting, but a durable peace needs legitimacy. The UN is separating speed from settlement. Ending violence matters, but so does the framework that follows. This is why diplomatic language often sounds repetitive. Repetition creates a record. A record shapes expectations. Expectations define what leaders can publicly accept later. So the real meaning of the statement was not simply support Ukraine. It was do not normalize a peace that weakens the charter system itself. In diplomacy, one sentence can be a warning, a reassurance, and a boundary line all at once. That is what the UN was signaling to world leaders.